So, what's going on, social media land, tool groupies? It's the Backwoods Hippie Garage here, and the Backwoods Mechanic if you're on YouTube. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about some tire plug kits. Now, what you see before you, on top of this toolbox here, so to speak, is a bunch of different reaming tools. Now, reaming tools is, of course, what you put inside the tire, for those of you who don't know. Whenever you go to a store, whether it's at an auto parts store, whether you're strolling through Wal-Mart or even the dollar store, you see a bunch of things like this sitting all over the place if you go through the tire section. Advertising, quick plug kit for your tire, plug your own tires, la-di-da, and you'll see these plugs right here, which is what the mechanics use, and this is essentially what you'll get. Now we got a few different ones here, and I'll go through them, these cheap ones here. You got different types of ends on these reaming tools. That one's a spiral end. This is a straight handle. Now, we will go to the next one here. This is also a straight handle, and this has got little rigid, like diamond type studs in it, made in the USA. So it'll help ream the rubber out whenever you pull a nail out. And then, of course, another spiral one. And then this right here is what you put the actual plug inside of. You squeeze it in between that little hole right there, pull it through. And these handles are made just a little bit different. Now, let's go ahead and talk about these particular handles for a minute. It doesn't really matter which one of these types of things that you get, because the spiral will help you kind of twist and turn to get inside of the hole, to widen out the hole a little bit before you get ready to plug something. But this one right here is actually pretty good, the diamond plated one, to be able to ream that hole out nice and smooth also. It'll help tear up the rubber so you'll be able to get the plug in a little bit better. Now, these particular tools in general, as you can see, these straight handled ones and then these curved handled ones. Now, if you're going to buy cheap, these straight handled ones right here, the problem with them are, you can see I've got it between my fingers here. You can take it and make a fist with it and shove it through the tire, but you've got to be straight on the tire whenever you do this, because if not, these things are horrible for breaking every time right here at the top of the handle. Now, if you look at these are made just a little bit different so that you can put your fingers in different positions here, and you can actually put your thumb around the side of it, so it'll give you a little bit different kind of force whenever you're sticking these tools in. So really, if you're going to buy one or the other, they both work. This one I kind of prefer a little bit more, because it gives you that type of groove to where it'll fit in the palm of your hand for whenever you're putting the plug inside the tire, and you can get a little bit better grip on it. But either way, if you're not dead on the tire, you're not going straight into it whenever you're plugging these things, you're going to break these cheap handled ones. No questions asked, they will break. Now, for those of you who don't know the basic concept, if you run over a nail inside your tire, if it's on the the outside firewall, stuff like that, the tire's done. Don't recommend patching it, plugging it, has to be replaced. If your belts break in it, you got a big bubble on your tire, then things need to be replaced. But now, if it's your traditional nail in the tire, in the ridges, somewheres where the tread is, you can usually take a pair of needle nose pliers, you get the nail, you pull it out. As soon as you pull it out, you take one of these reamers here and you run it straight through where the nail was at, and you ream it back and forth, and it makes that hole nice and smooth. And then you take these plugs right here, you smush the edges of them, you feed it through there, take your needle nose pliers, help pull it through there so it's halfway in between that. Then you take your glue, your vulcanizing cement here, and you pour it all around that thing, and then you push it into the hole on the tire. Now, it's best whenever you're doing this to leave this reaming tool inside the tire, and then get everything ready with your plug. Pull the reaming tool out, put this thing in, and then whenever you pop it back out, it'll pull it off of the plug itself. Now, me personally, I like to, if the tire's specifically off the car and it doesn't have a whole bunch of air to it, I'll set it on fire just for a minute with a cigarette lighter, and I'll let it blow out after about 5 or 6 seconds, maybe 10-15 seconds, depending on the job. And it don't hurt it, don't recommend it, because, people could get hurt. And of course, always you need air in the tire to be able to properly plug the tire, in my experience. It helps. So what you need is specifically some glue, needle nose pliers, and a kit, alright? And some plugs, of course. Now, the one thing I will tell you, if glue is something you're going to have on handy, but now if you put this in your vehicle, and drive around with it just in case you get a nail in your tire, this stuff will dry out. You will have to replace it from time to time. But if you count how many times you might buy these particular kits, you're looking at like $5 or $10, $5 or $10. You break them, then you can't get the plug in, then you got to go back and buy another kit, and then you got all these extra kits just to try to put a plug in because you might break it the first time. So I want to recommend a kit that might be good for you. Because if you look at how many times you might have to patch or plug a tire over the years, you might as well invest in a pretty decent kit, which is what I've done. And this is a tire plug kit made by ATD, American Tire Distributor. I believe is what that stands for. It's a 45-piece tire repair tool kit. Repair any size tubeless tire without demounting it. It gives you, let's get a close-up here, 40 tire repair plugs, part number ATD 86301, 1 tire repair lubricant, ATD 86302, which is essentially wax. Alright, 1 T-handle spiral probe reamer, 1 T-handle insert tool, 2 3mm wrenches, and packed in a nice molded plastic storage case. You can go to atdtools.com to check this thing out. It does come with a 1-year limited warranty, so if you keep your receipt from the date of purchase, it breaks, they will replace it. And the product number is ATD-8630. Now let's pull this thing out of the box and look at it. Alright, now let's get it. Gives you a little warning right here on the top of it. And then the case is a nice solid plastic case. It's got one little clip right there. Beautiful thing about this particular case, I'll go ahead and tell you, because I've got one of these from my wife's vehicle. I got one from my truck, and this is one I keep handy for grab and go around the workplace. So these things work because they are nice, they're sleek, they will slide underneath your seat of your truck, of your car, whatever it is that you've got. This is a perfect thing to take on a road trip. If you need to go on a road trip though, I'm going to go ahead and suggest if you buy this kit, keep your glue fresh. Always keep your glue fresh. Get you a nice good pair of needle nose pliers just to throw in your truck or car, whatever it is you go on that road trip. Also have yourself one of them little electrical air pumps. That way you can actually pump your tire up on the side of the road if you run over a nail and you're dealing with a flat. Now we'll pop her open here, and it gives you the contents of the package here, of course, by ATD. Let's pull it out here and read it. They give you this nice little pamphlet. It tells you everything that you're getting, the part number, and it gives you safety precautions, what and all to consider before you start working on your tire and everything. Always work in a clean, safe, well-lit, organized, and adequately equipped environment. You know, stuff like that. And it tells you every little piece of the part number right here, such as T-handle insert tool, part number 8630-01. Then your T-handle spiral probe tool is part number 8630-02. And those are good to know because if you do break these, you can order the replacements for them. And then unlike those cheap kits right there, this actually comes with instructions. It says to insert the T-handle spiral probe tool into the punctured thread at a slight angle, then straighten the tool and push the tapered shaft in and out of the hole several times to expand and enlarge the broken steel cord. So everybody should get the concept of this because it gives you good instructions. It even shows you some little diagrams here, what and all it'll look like. Now, here's what the actual kit looks like, and I have used this kit several times, and the big difference between these things and these, you should be able to tell from looking at it. This is nice, heavy-duty steel. And the reason that they give you two of these little Allen wrenches right here is for this purpose right here, because you can take these out, tighten them up. If these break, that's what the part number in that booklet was for. When these break, if these break, you can order them and you can buy more to replace them with. Or before you even get started, you see how this is right here. It's already got the groove to where if I take this thing out, I can put it in here and I can put the T-handle by itself, because I could order 2 or 3 of these and store them right here, store the T-handle itself. Same exact thing with your reaming tool. And this is one big reaming tool. Now I bought this specifically for trucks, and you will notice the difference in the size. Much bigger. The steel is much better. Plastic handle will break. This handle will not. If you break this, that's going to be the only thing you break, and you can replace them. And that's the beautiful thing about this. And it also has your Allen head right there that you can take it out and repair that with also. Now these plugs are red. The red, black, either one don't matter. I think the black sticks a little bit better depending on, if these are fresh or not. And it gives you all kinds of packs. You got enough packs here time and time again. You could plug everybody in the family. You get used to plugging tires, you could plug a tire $5, $10 a piece, just like the garage does. You can earn your money back and have a kit for home. And the reason that they give you this little jar right here is because it's a jar of wax. And the wax, the specific purpose of the wax is to help you slide it in the rubber. Now this particular case has not been unsealed yet. I haven't got into it. But essentially, if you have trouble getting inside of where your tire is, you puncture the hole here, you rub that wax all over this. Whenever you stick this into the tire and you're twisting, it'll help lubricate that hard rubber and go through that steel that's in the belts, and it will help ream it out. That's what that's for. Now, like I said, if you want to service these things, you can tighten them up. It comes with your actual Allen wrench. You can put them in, you can loosen them up, you can pull these out, you can exchange them, you can buy different ones, you can buy bigger ones, smaller ones, whatever they make in them. And as you can see, it helps hold it in place. Once you put that set screw in there, it holds this thing in place. And if anything breaks, it's going to be around the top of the handle here, and it's going to be on this particular piece and not that handle. So it'll be really cheap, really easy to buy the replacements for these, and you will have a kit that will last you a lifetime. This particular kit I got at CarQuest. They're asking $40 for it from ATD. Sometimes you can go up there and you will find these things and they'll have their sales going on, and you can walk out of there with one for about $30. So pay attention to sales and you might be able to get you a good deal on these things. But let's get you a good look at it one more time. As you can see, it's nice. It is heavy. It has a good little storage case. It's got the storage case here to put your reaming tool. These are the ones that break most of the time because it's the thinner metal, thinner rod. Just depends on the people and how hard you got to push. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you this particular kit, whenever I purchased it, the first thing I done with it the day I got it is I stopped and I had to plug a box truck. They had them really thick, triple ply tires on them. And they had been driving through a construction site, run over all kinds of nails, pulled the nails out, and I plugged 5 different ones with this kit, and they were a SOB to get in and out. But I got them, and I did not break a thing. This is a good kit. It's well worth buying. Once again, it's by the ATD company, part number 8630. I'll leave you some links in the description below. If you all want to see more tool reviews, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.